today. I'd like to introduce to them after my turn. We have Dr. Kaustubh Radkar with us. He is our speaker today. He is a 7-time Ironman champion. He started his first Ironman in Arizona in 2008, and every year thereafter, till 2013, he's continued to participate in Ironman. In 2013, he did 2 Ironmans. He is also an ultra runner, which he started doing in 2011. He's run 5 50-mile races, 1 60-mile race, 1 75-mile race, and more than 25 marathons. He has run back-to-back ultras of 60 kilometers and 82 kilometers and finished in the top 25 in both of them. And currently he is training for the European Championship, which is going to take place in July 2014, and the Malaysian Championship, the Malaysian Ironman, which is going to take place in September of 2014. So that's about Kaustubh, and he will speak with us shortly. I'd like also to mention that we have another great triathlete amongst us. We have Honorary Captain Kaptan Singh with us. He is the Indian coach for the World Military Games for 2007 till 2012. He himself is a triathlete and a 7 times national champion through 96 to 2002. He is also the Asian champion of the championship that took place in South Korea in 99, gold medalist. He is also the Asia Cup gold medalist 2001. Between 2000 to 2005 to 2006, he was the national coach, and currently I believe he is the World Military Games team coach as well. So glad to have you, sir, and I would request you to begin. Thank you so
much. First of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a unique honor to be here in front of you all and talk to you a little bit about triathlon and my experience. And then yesterday I was introduced to Kaptan Singh, and my first thought was, why wasn't he awarded the Arjuna Award? What more do you want out of a person to be a national champion for 7 years in a row that he hasn't been given an Arjuna Award? And the only answer I have is that triathlon doesn't get coverage the way cricket, tennis, and lately hockey. Those sports, you do a small thing, make few Ranji Trophy hundreds, and you get an Arjuna Award. Whereas here's someone who's done miracles. His fastest time for an Olympic distance triathlon is 1 hour 53 minutes. That is just incredible. Coming from a triathlete, I know how hard it is to get to that level. So we should actually give him a ceremonial applause right now. Usually when I talk, it's funny. When I went into medicine, I sat in front of a group of Hopkins doctors who were taking my interview, and they said, well, what specialty do you want to choose? And I said, either rehab or surgery. And they said, why those? And I said, those two are the ones where you have to spend the least amount of time talking to a patient. So being an athlete, I find it challenging sometimes to give presentations instead of participating, and that's my forte. But I'll do my best. Over the years, I've learned the trade of talking to patients and giving a few motivational talks, and I coach a few athletes. So let's begin. Usually I start every presentation with a picture. And all of you here are taking a giant leap by entering the water for the first time. Or some of you have done the Tirak Tank triathlon, now you're going to go in the open water for the first time. So everything you do in life, you always take a giant leap of faith. When I put this up at my talk at Hopkins, I asked people to look at this picture and give me one word. Just shout out any word you think, what comes to your mind when you look at this picture. Anyone, any word?
Achievement.
Achievement, okay.
Bravo.
I've heard everything from arrogance to idiocy to excitement. Um, Honestly, my only thinking when I jumped in the air was that I was hoping I would get a real good picture. It took me 7 Ironmans to get a fine picture that I could make a poster out of. So that was my only thought. I was obviously excited that I was, going for the fastest time I had ever done, and that it was my 7th Ironman finish. Um, but when you come to a finish line, I think all of you have experienced that excitement that goes through your blood. It makes you do incredible things. Nalanda already gave my bio. I had put a slide. She was kind enough to read it. So I don't really think I should ponder much time on it. I put this picture up for Colonel Pittore. And the reason is, yesterday Deccan Kana had felicitation. And there was a group of 7, 9-year-old Molkham players. And they all had 6-packs. And I told him, once upon a time, I also had a 6-pack. This picture is in 1993, and all 4 of us, so if you go from the left, Mazhar Yasin, Srinivas Thakurkar, me and Rohan Davi, we won every single race at the Maharashtra State Swimming Championship in our age group that year. So then this was our winning relay team that went to the nationals and got a bronze medal. So I was fortunate enough that I started swimming at Deccan at a very young age, and have slowly become somewhat of a novice triathlete. I have small beginnings because I already talked to you about my swimming background, swam for Deccan, swam for Pune, later on swam for Maharashtra, represented India. Went to the US on a swimming scholarship, trained and studied at the same time, went to nationals a couple times. When you think about triathlon, you are looking at 3 different sports. The biggest question that I get asked is, how do you manage your schedule? When you're working full-time or studying part-time or studying full-time, how do you find time to make sure you get all 3 disciplines in? And I always tell people is that you start small. Make yourself a schedule and try and follow it as much as you can. The important thing is that even if you get out of the door in the morning and do whatever distance you have to do, may it not be at 100% intensity. Sometimes it's at 60, 70. Getting the work done is the difference between being a triathlete and not being able to finish any race you go for. So I also tell people that find something that motivates you, that is the difference when your alarm clock goes off in the morning, that you get up of bed and put your running shoes or pick up your swimsuit and your goggles, or just keep hitting the snooze button. So I put a few motivational factors that keep me going. And it's an easy thing that it keeps you healthy. You cross train, so the injury suspension is low. It keeps me challenged, it keeps my mind fresh. I look forward to going to an Ironman every year, and there's a group of us who travel and try and do different races at the same time every year. And then the last but not the least, I'm still working on it, is to be amongst the best of the best. When you think about open water, so I try and put pictures, because pictures speak 1,000 words. How many of you have had the opportunity to swim in open water? Lake, river, 3 or 4 people. The biggest challenge people think is that open water, you get hyperventilation and you get scared. The reason being, you cannot see the floor. And I'll tell you a story. When I was learning swimming here at Deccan when I was 7, I won't mention my coach's name, but he told me, if you're going to drown, what difference does it make if you see the surface or you don't see the surface? So that's the same thing with open water, is that there's nothing to be worried about. Once you know how to swim, have the confidence and have the faith that you're going to cross the line. Don't worry about what's happening underneath. The other question that gets asked is, this is a picture in China somewhere where there is apparently a risk of shellfish. The other question that will get asked is that, what about vegetation? What about fish? What about snakes? And to be honest, the answer is, they are going to be there, but they won't bother you. I don't know what the situation at Manas Lake is going to be, but I doubt there are going to be fish living in that, or even snakes. So for all who have signed up for a triathlon, don't worry about what you can't control. Worry about what you can control, which is how you're going to react to open water. So when you get into the water, I always tell people your goal should be to underestimate. Because the problem is, you're excited, the race is beginning, and you jump into the water thinking, I'm going to kill this swim. What people don't realize is that very few people are lucky to win a triathlon from start to finish. It's usually the strong bikers and the strong runners who will win a triathlon. The fish, they say, are fast out of the pool, and that's where they expend all the energy. So it's important to underestimate and start off slow and stay to the back. Stay to the back, because what happens is, if you're in a group of 100, 200 people, the water is becoming very, very choppy by the minute. And people behind you don't see that you're in front. And by mistake or by your luck, if they forget to see you, either your caps are going to go, your goggles are going to go, or you're going to take a big dip in the water. It's very easy to climb on top of someone in the water than get climbed down. The other thing is, with open water, it's not like a pool. At the pool you have markings. You know when the end is coming. In open water there is none of that. You have other factors. Obviously, I said the water becomes choppy, but you're also going to have the sun in your face. So it's important to sight. So, every few strokes, take a look, see where the kayaks are. I tell people, don't follow other swimmers. Because if one person goes wayward, there are 10 people who will be following him and you'll be in that trap. Instead, try and sight the canoes, the kayaks, the buoys, whatever they have at the race. It's very important. All the good swimmers, that's where they focus on. When they do practice swims, they will figure out a way to kayak. So once the swim is done, this is very important in triathlon, is that you have to stay in the moment. Once the swim is done, you do good, you do bad, you do average, you have to forget about it. You have to start fresh. And the reason being is that if you have a real good swim, it's very easy to get caught in the moment, and then you'll ruin your bike by starting too fast and run out of energy when you need the most. If you have a bad swim, you want to make up time as much as possible in the first few yards, meters, kilometers. And that will lead, again, causing you to expend energy at the start, not have enough left in the tank. It is very important to hydrate. And hydration has different factors. Obviously, there is water. There is Electrol, Gatorade, other supplements, and then there is food. I'll talk about calories that you burn during the race later on. But if possible, set yourself a goal that you're going to eat a small bite every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, whatever it is. But don't make a mistake of just doing it on race day. Make sure you have practiced what you want to do on race day a few times. Because it is very easy, again, to get caught in the moment and overeat. And overeat will give you cramps later on in the race. I already talked about pacing on the bike and why it's important to not go too fast. You already have done a fairly decent amount of swimming, expended energies. And then you also have the run coming up. And if you look at the weather patterns, obviously it's going to get hot as well. So you need a lot of energy there. Two other things that I will talk in detail are tire punctures and other bike issues like chain falling, if your seat post keeps dropping, but I wanted to mention it right now. I'll talk about it later on. When you transition to the run, keep in mind this is your make or break moment. Whatever you have done so far, you have to leave it and start fresh. But this is where your race begins. I always start saying to myself, okay, whatever I have done so far, forget it. This is a fresh race now. When you get off the bike, your muscles are tired, but your brain is fresh. And the brain is telling you to just, kill the run. So it's important to pace yourself. The first mile or the first, kilometer, 2 kilometers, let your muscles get used to the running muscles. I talked about hydration and nutrition on the bike. If you do not hydrate well or eat enough, it will catch up to you on the run. The run becomes very, very unforgiving. Anyone who's run a marathon and hit the wall knows what it feels like. Then you will have cramping all over, especially in the abdomen and quads, hamstrings. I talked about the sun, that how it can affect your race. How many people here use supplements like Gatorade or Electrol? Few of you. So the golden rule is that anything about an hour, you start using these supplements. So for triathlon, you have to have practice of using these supplements and running on them and biking on them. Some, tips for the run are is to stay patient. If you want, you can talk to yourself in trying to do a negative split on the run. That should be your goal, that every kilometer is faster than the other. If things go wrong, which they will when you race enough, take it step by step. If you have to walk 10 steps, but then try and jog again. Don't go into a pattern of walking. Try and break that cycle. And eventually, if you eat, drink and smile, something will kick in. And I'm sure it will lead you on to finish. I'll tell you a story. Is that when I did my second Ironman in Canada, I had a phenomenal swim, I had a decent bike, and then my knee gave out at the half marathon point. I ran the first half of the marathon in 1 hour 50 minutes, and I had to limp my way back. It took me 4 hours 50 minutes, so it took me 3 hours for the next 13.1 miles. But then I had to talk to myself and tell myself, okay, just try and finish. And I did the shuffle. The shuffle is when you walk, jog, walk, jog. One important area that people forget is transition. And it is very, very important in triathlons. You have two transitions, the swim to bike and the bike to run. And your goal is to get out of transition as quickly as possible, because once the clock starts when you enter the pool, the clock stops when you cross the finish line. I have a couple examples of transition bags. Once we get closer to race day, we'll talk to you about point-to-point transition. But usually the thing is that the blue bag has all the bike clothes. It has my biking helmet, my goggles, my clothes, obviously, and my shoes. You have the option, some people keep their shoes right on the bike, but you have to be lucky to have cleats and all the good stuff. On the run, you need your basic clothes if you decide to change into, which is not really advisable. But run cap, your run shoes, and run socks. Any triathlon you do, you have to park your bike in the morning, and we're going to try and arrange a similar pole. So you can either park it with the handlebars or with the seat post. So I talked about nutrition, and I was looking at some statistics that on average you burn between 1800 to 2500 plus calories during a triathlon. So in 3 hours, you're going to burn as much as what most people eat. So you have to be very, very careful that you eat at routine intervals. I will keep saying this over and over and over, but start practicing that whatever you eat every 20 minutes, every 15 minutes, whatever works for you. Everyone's different, but don't forget to eat. I like desserts, so I put, the running thing. This is where you laugh, but that's alright. I was also asked to give a few triathlon tips. And the first tip is that it is a race, it is not an event. And there is a big, big distinction between that. I personally dislike it when people say, I am going for a marathon event. A marathon is a race, it is not an event. It is the same with a triathlon. When you race, I talked about it, you have to stay in the moment. Whatever the moment is, it can be good, bad, average. You have to forget what happened before and try and not look too forward. This is very important, and if there is one takeaway from tonight's talk, just take this point down. If you can't pace, you cannot race. And that is applicable to every single thing you do in life. Swim, bike, run, everything. You have to be able to pace. And I'm still learning how to pace, so it's not going to come on one day, one race. Few of us are very lucky to have that. So the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. There's two different schools of thoughts when it comes to strengths. There's a book that says, first improve your strength, and there's another one which says, drop the strength, improve on your weakness. I tend to follow the former. And I say, identify your strength and work on it. Because if you are a phenomenal runner, do what you need to do on the bike and swim, but work on your run. If you are a phenomenal biker, keep on working on the bike. Make that one event so strong that you can outlast the field. I mentioned my swimming background. I've been very lucky. That is where most triathletes have the biggest challenge, not enough practice. And I'm fortunate that I finished every single Ironman in the top 5 overall category. And I still keep working on my swim, even though, like I said, very few of us are lucky to win a triathlon start to finish. It is very important. The difference is when you transition, it is far easier to transition when there is only 4 other people around you instead of 400 people around you. You can pick up your stuff much quicker. If you want to take a couple extra minutes, you have the luxury of doing it. A lot of people who race are grumpy, and I don't know why. And it is unfortunate that this grumpiness comes out on the volunteers. And I always say that, those volunteers are the difference between having a race and not having a race. So whatever race you do, don't forget to smile and thank them. You don't have to thank them, shake hands profusely, but just say thank you. That's all you need. You don't even have to say thank you sometimes. Just smile. That sets the point. I talked about what happens when things go wrong. And I put Ironman, but during a triathlon, it is not an if, it is only a question of when things are going to go wrong. When you look at the swim, you can have issues with your wetsuit not working properly. Either it's too tight or too loose on that day. The biggest issue is swim goggles, because most people try and fidget with it the night before. I don't know why. If you have water in your goggles, your race is doomed right from the start. I talked about nutritional issues. I want to talk about the bike. And when you do the triathlon, you will understand some of the roads that you're going to experience aren't the best. This is what happened to me in a triathlon. I crashed off the bike, and I was fortunate that I didn't break any bones, just had a little gravel taken off the skin. You don't have to worry about a penalty on the bike. That is not applicable to this race. So let's not even talk about that. And then cramping on the run, obviously, if you don't have enough practice, nutrition, hydration, pacing. All the athletes I have coached and myself, I have to have a reminder in front of me. And so the night before, this is what your checklist should include. It goes from the swim, your swim cap, your goggles, and your suit. Then your bike clothes, shoes, gloves, helmet. Do not forget the bike pump. Because if you do have a flat on the road, God forbid, that will be your savior till a mechanic gets to you. Don't forget your water bottle and whatever nutrition you are going to carry for yourself. Could be bars, could be gels, could be idli vada sambar, I don't know. Anything you want, but don't forget, pull it out. Could be biscuits, a lot of people eat biscuits. For the run, don't forget your running clothes. If you do decide to change into your cap, your shoes, and do not forget your race bib, because if you don't have a race bib, more than likely they won't allow you to race. And then attend that athlete meeting, because that's where they will go over the rules and regulations and what to expect, what not to expect. If they have certain areas that they have identified where they want you to slow down or be extra cautious. This picture is a little hazy. I hope you all can see it, but the simplest thing is to pull out all your stuff the night before and then just go through your checklist and start putting them in your bags. Very easy. I'm going to skip over this slide because we'll talk about it later during question and answers. And with that, I will take some questions.
I suppose we can't eat while swimming.
No, that is not advisable.
So you can just tell when not to eat and suggest me Indian style of food or whatever. Add to that, I'm a diabetic.
Okay. I try and have, if the race is starting at 7 in the morning, I try and have breakfast at 5:30. And usually my breakfast is a small muffin and a protein shake, half a protein shake. That is something you will have to practice. I used to have a banana for my first 4 triathlons for breakfast, and on the 5th one, suddenly my body decided it did not like it, and 2,400 other swimmers had to experience my banana vomit in the lake or whatever it was. So, I always tell people try and avoid tea, coffee, because when you start swimming, something happens in your stomach does not like it in the morning. Don't eat heavy stuff. Obviously, I made a joke about idli and vada sambar, but don't have that before you swim. the outcome is not very nice. Usually fruits are good. Protein shake is good. Biscuits are okay. Muffins, you being a diabetic, you are limited on that. But a couple biscuits, just enough to get you out of the water. That's all you need. You don't need 1,000 calorie breakfast. 500 calories is enough. If you can have those bars, protein bars, those are good as well.
What about the change of clothes when you transition from swimming to biking? Then again, like we are having those sides shorts and those, so those needs to be changed, or we can presume that while biking within the first few kilometers it will automatically dry and we don't need to change.
Yeah, that is a very important question. And more than likely, you will not have an issue that your shorts should dry off within the first few kilometers. Usually during an Ironman, and at this race as well, we are going to put up a tent. So if you want to swim in a swimsuit and then put your bike gear on, that's fine as well. I have done that personally before. Have you ever practiced riding with a wet short? Maybe you should practice a few kilometers and see if you like it or not.
Maybe a silly question, not doing a triathlon, but swimming, how bad does it get? Because when we are actually, if you're not swum in open water and only swim even in a 50 meter or 25 meter pool, you always have that luxury that, okay, you're not touched, you can get breathing space and you want to go back. But in open water, say, sand or say you get
It won't get as bad as it gets during an Ironman for this race. Generally, it's okay. The problem, like I put in the first slide, is that a lot of people overestimate. And they think they can keep up with the front group and start. And then there's a lot of splashing, and then there's a lot of kicking. And that's when an issue happens. So if you start somewhere to the middle or to the back, and control your breathing right from the start, you shouldn't have an issue. Just start, look at the kayaks, and gauge how much distance you have to go. I have had races where, I know people who have had a lot of issues, but I also know a lot of friends who do Ironman swims right in the middle of to the end, and they don't have any issues at all.
If you take a worst case scenario, the question is relevant in a state, but that when you are doing 50 meters in a pool, you always go to the edge and you gather yourself when you come back. But when you are the center of the distance, whatever it may be, 400 meters and 50 meters, 1.5, what we are having in this triathlon coming on 2nd March. So if you are in the middle and you are not used to open water, and you tire yourself out or your breathing pattern gets like hyperventilate. So how to cope up in that situation? When half the distance in front of you and you have to cover it, and you don't feel like
you want to take a break.
yeah, you want to take a break.
So,
You cannot take it.
if you are swimming freestyle, the best way to get out of that mess is to turn on your back and do a few laps of backstroke. If you don't know backstroke, then go to breaststroke. Whatever it takes to slow down and calm down. It could mean that you go a little wayward. Get away from people. And then if you want to just stand still and calm yourself down, there is no rule that says you cannot do more distance in swimming. Your time and your, you won't get credit for more distance. But if you feel that you have to go 10 meters wide, take a little break, that's fine. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. That's fine. That's it, your race at the end of the day. And your first race, your goal should be to finish. So if you want to calm down, I would recommend either turn on your back and do a few backstrokes, or swim breaststroke, or go to the side. whatever is more comfortable for you at that time. Go to the side and you have 10 other people around you, I cannot help you in this situation. But that's a good question. I've only had it happen to me once in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. That was 2011. The water was 5 degrees Celsius. And the front group did not allow me to line up with them. And the person next to me put his hand on my cap and pulled my goggles down. So I had two choices, either keep swimming or turn around and have 2,400 other athletes come towards me. And so I chose to go sideways, gather my thoughts, calm myself down, and then keep swimming.
How do you train yourself for such an event on a weekly basis?
I try and tell people at least do 2 disciplines on one day. It could be swim, bike run, or bike swim
Every day.
every day.
How much distance?
And obviously keep one day off. You want to have one day off. Every single one of us needs a day of recovery. And that is where especially us Indians go wrong. So if you're looking at a 1500 meter swim, you should be able to swim 2000 meters without a break. That should be a goal. You should be able to work towards it. The bike is okay because you can bike, any one of us can bike 40 kilometers. The question is, can you run 10 kilometers after that? So instead of killing yourself in doing 70, 80 kilometer bike rides, I would recommend keep 2 solid bike rides of maybe 20, 30 kilometers and then one of your 40 kilometers. But try and do at least 5 to 10 minutes of running after the bike so that your muscles get used to that transition. That is the biggest transition that you have to get used to, is the bike to run. Again, for the run, the most you're going to run is 10 kilometers. So you don't have to worry about long runs of 13, 15. Even if you can work towards running 10 kilometers twice before your race, you are good to go.
How will we gauge the difficulty level of open water lake swimming versus pool swimming? Let's say that I am comfortable doing the 400 meters at a one go in a swimming pool. So can I say that I will be doing same 400 meter in open lake, or what percentage should I take on open?
The best advice I have for you is come to the open water thing on 22nd. You will be your best judge on that. Open water is completely different. Luckily, this is not a river or a lake that there is going to be a current. So at Manas, you should be fine. You won't be able to have the same swim you have in a pool, obviously, because you won't know when to turn. At the pool, you can look towards the side and gauge how many meters you've got. But if you do a couple practice swims, you should be fine. Are you doing the Olympic or the sprint?
I'll be doing the sprint.
Okay. Have you swum 750 meters so far?
No, I have been out of touch of swimming since they joined around 1 week back. I'm practicing on swimming, and the best I have done is 500 meters.
Okay.
So I'm working towards 750 meter in pool.
In 2 weeks, you should be fine. But do not miss that practice swim on the 22nd.
During long runs, especially I'm more of a runner and cyclist. So during long running and cycling, we definitely use Vaseline to
Are you shaking? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to save our feet from blisters and all that, so total legs and feet, we use Vaseline there. So definitely when we transition from running to a sport from biking and running, so how do you transition this? So should we use these lubricants on a wet feet, or how will you transition that?
So realistically, lubricant should not be used on wet feet.
Yeah.
And that's why I told you that if you are more comfortable, use a swimsuit for the swim, then dry out. Then you can really lubricate and then put your bike gear on. Because the problem is, if you have cold, wet bike shorts or run gear, you're going to shake much more. The friction is more. You don't realize it,
Yes.
but it will happen more. So if you want to clean up, just put a towel in your bag. Quickly clean up. For the bike to run, you're going to use the same shoes, correct?
Yes.
So you should not have any worry about that. Once your feet are clean and lubricated at the start of the bike,
Yes.
you should be set for the run.
Yeah.
Alright, we are ready.
What is the difference between tri-suit and wetsuit?
So a wetsuit is thick and it increases your buoyancy. Wetsuit is very, very useful in cold water. Whereas a tri-suit is very thin, you do not get that much advantage of buoyancy. But the advantage is once you put your tri-suit on, you can take it off at the end of the race. So the transition between swim to bike is very faster on a tri-suit as opposed to a wetsuit, because a wetsuit you have to take it off, shove it in your bag, then put rest of the stuff.
I don't know how applicable this question is to you, but don't you feel that swimming is a little boring then?
It is not applicable to me.
So that's what I said. It is not applicable to you, but maybe for some other people it is applicable.
It is very much applicable, and it is applicable to me on the bike, because I get bored on the bike. As soon as I sit on the bike, I have to remind myself it is 6 hours of fun, not 6 hours of torture. So it's the same, you have to find ways to motivate yourself. I don't know if you like to sing songs when you swim, or usually I'll tell you what I used to do. When I was studying, I used to enter the pool with a project in my mind, and then when I swam, I used to work on that project or an idea or a challenge, something, and that kept me going. When I ride, I tried it and I crashed, so I had to let go of that. But it's the same, do what it takes to get you finish the workout. Maybe join a club or find other people who can swim with you, so that you will have some company and it's not boring and monotonous. Because in the water, it's just the water and you, and that's where you're coming from. Is that there's no sides, there's no one to talk to.
The surroundings don't change. Like what happens with bike and run is you have people around you, you can talk to them, you can see whatever is happening. But in swim, it's not that case. So surroundings are all the time the same. You have to deal with those, and you can't even talk to anyone. Say hi, so again get back in the pool. You can't talk anything.
Yeah, how much do you swim usually?
1.5 kilometers.
Okay. So try and either listen to a couple of songs before you jump in, so that you can keep repeating, or put a project in your head that you are working towards or you want to work towards, or find a couple other people that you have some company.
I have some problem after biking, running actually. Some muscles, some stiffness comes in. So I can run and do this independently, but together the first some time it is some problem actually running. How can I overcome that?
So there's two things on that. The first is the easy fix, is that practice. Because it's just that your muscles are not used to the transition. Your muscles are not strong enough yet. The second thing is hard because it could also be that your bike fit is wrong. And I'll give you an example. So most people need a 90-degree bend on the bike. If your seat is too low, you're going to put unnecessary pressure on your quads and on your back, and obviously on the hamstrings. Same thing if it's too high, you're not putting pressure on the calves. So try and find someone who can, or actually these days with YouTube, just find a good video that tells you, for your height, what should an ideal bike fit be like.
There are many methods.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff, and the internet is great for that. So it could be either or. I would say it doesn't hurt to do a bike fit. So invest in that is, hour to hour of your life, and then work on the transition.
So you're doing two disciplines at a time for training. How much will you train?
How much you what?
How much will you train for both the disciplines? Means if you're doing swimming and then biking, then what should be the distance or time?
The swimming is easy because if you're swimming 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers, you don't have to change that unless you're going to bike first and then swim, or run first and then swim.
Should we have to do it back to back, or can you swim in the morning and bike in the evening?
Back to back is preferable, but it doesn't happen. I mean, I haven't been able to do a back to back in quite some time, and unless on the weekend, because everyone here has a job or is studying, so it's very hard. But in that case, 2 different times is okay. And then to your question, it depends if it's a weekday or a weekend. How much time do you have?
Say on the weekend.
I mean, you can swim 1500, then go 40 kilometers. If you can do it, that's fine. Have you worked up towards it? That's the question.
Should we train like that or should we break it up more smaller pieces?
You can keep the smaller pieces for weekdays, and then for the weekend you can do the long bike one day and then the long run the other day. The swim is easy.
In your training, regular training, you don't intersperse your activity with the strength training or the kind of free body workouts. Or
I do 2 to 3 days of strength training a week, basic.
Do you taper in the last week? Your schedule?
Yeah. Last week is taper. That's the best week.
Usually the transitions are convenient. All the places that you did.
No, most places have point-to-point transitions. So you come out of the water, you pick up your bike. First you pick up your clothes, change, pick up your bike, and then you come back, drop your bike at the same place, and then pick up your run clothes. But then there are races where you swim in one direction, pick up your bike, you drop the bike at a completely different location where you have the challenge of making sure your swim to bike gear is at the bike stop and your bike to run gear is at the run stop.
So these we have to do on a previous day? Or
At this race, you will have the challenge of point to point for the bike to run. And we will talk about it in detail. But for those who are racing that day, keep it in your mind that you want 2 separate bags, one for your swim to bike and then one for your bike to run.
But we are not coming back to the same point here in our case.
You will do the swim, take the bike, but the bike will end at a different location, not at Manas. So we will transport your run gear to that location.
What do you eat for the day post event?
Post events,
Yes.
the simple answer is whatever your body can handle. But you have to be careful and I try and eat the balanced meat, try being keyword. But rice is usually preferable. Anything light on your stomach, curd rice, dal rice, or roti and some non-spicy sabji. Fruits, very important. Water, and then some sort of electrolyte supplement, electrol, Gatorade, whatever.
You need a wetsuit for this race?
No.
Actually, start now I am running. Usually I am running for only weekend. Can you some say me motivation or start when I run in morning? Why I am running? A simple question. Why I am running?
You can make a presentation for that.
Simple question. Because I only run in the weekend or only the 5 or 10 minutes. But I start morning every day. But simple in question to my mind, why I am? I love run. Simply I love.
So there is your answer then. That you run because you love to run. You run because you are working towards a goal. If I do a hard bike and an easy run, I will do an easy swim. But I won't go all out on all three. Very rarely.
The regular training on weekends when you usually have more time. So all three disciplines are done.
Very rarely. It's a challenge to get all three in.
Again, that will depend on the intensity of the program.
Yeah, it depends on the race. A lot of challenge. I mean, if you can, then that's pretty good.
People are changing clothes, then they also have to take care of their movement. In the event, do they give their
Most races will give you 2 bibs. But if not, you can just take the staples off and put new ones. Or safety pins.
There's going to be big for cycle and run, not for this thing.
I am.
It's the same number that you carry on your chest, it's the same that goes on your bike, it's the same to be written on your. Yeah. So the swim section, that's the only way to either they put it on your cap or put it on your like a long permanent marker.
I personally don't train with it. I've never trained with it. My first triathlon, I trained with it. My first triathlon was a half Ironman. And I had a Garmin where I had put the virtual pacer. So what the virtual pacer does, as some of you might be aware, is that if you go too fast, it makes a ridiculously annoying noise. Or if you go too slow, it does the same in a higher frequency. So my first triathlon, I had set my heart rate alarms and the bugger would not shut up. And I had to turn the clock off because I didn't know how to stop. I didn't have time on the bike to go into settings and change, stop the heart rate alarm and all that. If you train with it and you like it, stick to it, but keep in mind it's only a number. When you race, conditions are completely different than when you practice. I know a lot of people who swear by it. I have trained with a few people who swear by it, but not him. No, don't look at Anand. Anand and me don't bother about heart rates and whatnot. So, if you practice and you think that works for you, great. I personally do not like it.
We would like you to come over and also talk about your experience of being a triathlete yourself, as well as your experience in coaching and how the current team, how is it composed of what kind of people there are.
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन, मेरा नाम कप्तान सिंह। मैंने ट्रायथलॉन 19 1992 में स्टार्ट किया था। पहले मैं ट्रैफिक नहीं था, मैं नॉन स्विमर था और एज ऑफ 21 I learned to swim. When I started to swim, I achieved command and services in all defense services. Then 1990 अपने इंडियन ट्रायथलॉन फेडरेशन ने जो स्टार्ट किया, एक्चुअली मैं ट्रायथलॉन 1970 में स्टार्ट किया था। उसके बाद 20 साल बाद इंडिया में आए। वैसे भी हम फॉरेन कंट्री से काफी 20 साल पीछे ही चले गए। और 1990 से लेके और टिल डेट आज तक ट्रायथलॉन में जितना इजाफा हुआ है मैं नहीं समझता वो काफी है। क्रिकेट का देखो, एक मैच होगा 1000 आदमी के साथ, अगर एक टीवी पर लगा दिया लाइव दिखा दिया तो 1000 आदमी इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे। क्यों? एक गली गली में क्रिकेट खेला जा रहा है। अपना नेशनल गेम हॉकी है, एक हॉकी का मैच अगर कोई देखने के लिए नहीं आएगा। सेम लाइक ट्रायथलॉन। ट्रायथलॉन एक बहुत अच्छा गेम है जो सिर के बाद से लेकर पैर के नाखून तक एक्सरसाइज है। और बॉडी का हर एक पार्ट यूटिलाइज होता है। फिटनेस का सबसे अच्छा तरीका है। 3 डिसिप्लिन से मेजर इवेंट है। स्विमिंग करने के लिए जाओ, स्विमिंग के फील्ड में 1500 मीटर मेजर इवेंट। साइकिलिंग के लिए जाओ, 40 किलोमीटर टाइम ट्रायल। ट्रैक एंड फील्ड में जाओ, 10 किलोमीटर मेजर इवेंट। ये सब मिला के कंसिडर किया है, जैसे भी डॉक्टर कस्तूरबा आयरनमैन लॉ पुरुष, ये रियली लॉ पुरुष है, ये 7 टाइम आयरनमैन किया है। तो हम डरते हैं स्टार्ट कैसे करें, हाउ टू स्टार्ट। लेकिन जिसने एक बार मन में बना लिया मैंने करना है तो करना है, जब तक अपने अंदर एक जज्बा नहीं है, एक गोल फिक्स नहीं किया, वी कांट डू एनीथिंग। प्लेट में रोटी रखी है, वी कांट ईट। जब तक हम उसको तोड़ेंगे नहीं, लगाएंगे नहीं, जब तक नहीं खा सकते। हम कोशिश ही नहीं करेंगे तो आगे कहां से बढ़ेंगे। इंडिया में आज भी बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैफिक नहीं है। इनमें से शायद कोई नासिक में भी 18-19 को कोई नेशनल चैंपियनशिप हो गया, कोई गया था? किसी को पता भी नहीं होगा, लेकिन नेशनल चैंपियनशिप भी हुआ है। एक वनडे क्रिकेट के लिए पता लग जाता है कब मैच कब होने वाला है। ये थोड़ा सा कमी है हमारा, इस पे फेडरेशन का भी समझो, हमारा स्टेट फेडरेशन का समझो, या हमारा भी। तो हमको इसमें चेतना होना चाहिए। जहां भी फिजिकल फिटनेस का सवाल आता है, ट्रायथलॉन एक चैलेंज इवेंट है। चैलेंज इवेंट को चैलेंज करना और उसको विन करना ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है। एक छोटी सी स्टेप से शुरू कीजिए। स्विमर है, स्विमिंग से स्टार्ट कीजिए, बॉडी फिजिकल फिट होगी। थोड़ा सा उसके करने के लिए रनिंग स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि जब तक बॉडी वार्म अप नहीं, हम कोई एक्सरसाइज नहीं कर सकते। बॉडी वार्म होगा, एक्सरसाइजेज होंगी। सबसे बड़ी चीज होती है हमारे को ट्रायथलॉन में साइकिलिंग की। साइकिल ट्रैक नहीं मिलता हमारे पास, ट्रैफिक इतना रश है। स्विमिंग कोई भी किसी भी टैंक में जाके करेगा, रनिंग कहीं भी रोड में करेगा, ग्राउंड मिल जाएगा। सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत साइकिल की। इंडिया में वैसे बहुत स्लो चलाते हैं, बाइक चलाओ या कार चलाओ, रोड पे जाओगे रोड खाली नहीं मिलता। तो मैंने पूना में 25 ईयर से मैं पूना में ही हूँ। पूना का कोई ऐसा रोड नहीं छोड़ा जिसमें मैंने साइकिलिंग नहीं किया हो। बट 87 से लेके और आज तक बहुत सारे चेंजेस आ गए। ट्रायथलॉन में अकेला आदमी कोई प्रैक्टिस करना बहुत मुश्किल, जिसके दिल में कुछ करने के लिए वही कर सकता है। अदरवाइज ट्रायथलॉन में एक ग्रुप बनाना बहुत जरूरी है। भले ही 2 आदमी का क्यों ना हो, कम से कम 2 आदमी का क्यों ना हो, अपना एक पार्टनर बनाइए जो आपके साथ चल सकते हैं। एक आदमी थक जाता है, दूसरा नहीं थकता, उसको मोटिवेट करके लेके चलता है। अकेला आदमी रहेगा, थोड़ा सा भी टाइट हो गया, चल यार छोड़ दे, उधर ही छोड़ देते हैं। पार्टनर रहेगा, एक दिल में आता है ये कर रहा तो मैं क्यों नहीं कर रहा, चलो इसके साथ एक अच्छा मोटिवेट मिलता है उसको। इसलिए मैं एडवाइस करूंगा साथ में कोई पार्टनर जरूरी होना चाहिए। साइकिल का इवेंट भी है, साइकिल की प्रैक्टिस के लिए गए, रिसेंटली कुछ हो जाता है, हेल्प की जरूरत पड़ती है। हमारे साथ में कोई आदमी है, हमको भरोसा रहता है अगर कुछ होता है तो इसीलिए कुछ तो किसी को इन्फॉर्म करेगा। नजदीक में कोई नहीं, रोड कंपटीशन में जो कुछ नहीं मिलता है, इसलिए हमको कुछ तो सहारा मिलेगा। तो इसलिए मैं एडवाइस करूंगा कोई भी कोई अपना साथ में पार्टनर जरूर बनाइए। जरूरी नहीं है कोई स्विमर ही अच्छा ट्रायथलीट बन सकते हैं, कोई जरूरी नहीं कोई साइकिल के अच्छा ट्रायथलीट बन सकते हैं, और ये कोई भी जरूरी नहीं है कोई अच्छा रनर ही अच्छा ट्रायथलीट बन सकते हैं। और ये भी जरूरी नहीं चलो मैंने स्विमिंग का अच्छा प्रैक्टिस कर लिया और मैं इसको विन कर जाती, इम्पॉसिबल। एक मेजर इवेंट का कोई भी कितना भी बड़ा खिलाड़ी हो ट्रायथलॉन में वो विन नहीं कर सकता। इसलिए तीनों चीज का बैलेंसिंग होना बहुत जरूरी है। और जिसको ये बैलेंसिंग समझ में आ गया इसे चैंपियन। भले ही आप एक घंटा दो, आधा घंटा दो, बट तीनों चीज को कंपेयर तोड़ के जांच के एडवाइस के साथ। एक सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत क्योंकि मैं इसमें से गुजरा हूं, ट्रायथलॉन में आती है सीन पेन का प्रॉब्लम। बहुत से आदमियों को समझ में नहीं आता, पैर का हड्डी के ऊपर दुखना, सीन पेन, नी पेन, होता किस लिए एक्चुअली में? पहला चीज हमारा जूता खराब हो, दूसरा चीज हम हार्ड सरफेस के ऊपर ज्यादा रनिंग करते हैं। दोनों चीजों को थोड़ा चेक कीजिए। थोड़ा बहुत अगर आपको फील होता है आप इस पर आइस अप्लाई कीजिए, रेस्ट लीजिए। ये नहीं सोचना चलो भाई सेकंड मार्च आया है और थोड़ा सा पेन है और इसको कंटिन्यू रखो, क्योंकि रेस में मुश्किल हो सकता है। तो इंजरी से बच के रहिए और अच्छा प्रैक्टिस कीजिए, और किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो पूछ सकता है, तो मैं जितना मुझे ज्ञान इसके बारे में तो मैं आपको बता सकूँ। सर मेरा कोच स्टार्टिंग से रहा है। जब मैं स्विमिंग स्टार्ट किया था मेरे कोच स्विमिंग सिखाया था, और टिल टू जब तक मैंने प्रैक्टिस किया या कॉम्पिटिशन किया वो कोच के अंडर में ही किया।
सभी के लिए अलग अलग ही थी स्विमिंग, रनिंग, बाइकिंग?
नहीं, मेरा कोच एक्चुअली में एक ही स्विमर था, तो बेसिकली स्विमिंग का कोच ही था, उसी ने सिखाया हमारे को। फिर हम जो नेशनल फेडरेशन में हमारा कैंप लगाए 94 में, 94 और 95, वहाँ फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया से कोच आए थे, क्योंकि उसमें नया नया गेम शुरू हुआ था, किसी को कुछ पता नहीं था कैसे इसका प्रैक्टिस करना है, कैसे नहीं करना है। 95 में ऑस्ट्रेलिया से कोच रॉब पिकार्ड नाम का आया, उन्होंने कुछ गाइडलाइन बताई। देन फेडरेशन में स्विमिंग कोच ही है, आज भी है मिस्टर वीरभद्रन, तमिलनाडु स्टेट एसोसिएशन के स्विमिंग कोच है। उन्होंने कुछ दिन ट्रेन किया, उसके बाद हमने खुद इनिशिएट होके पैटर्न को समझा, उसके ऊपर वर्कआउट किया, और तभी हम खुद कोच था हमारे ऊपर, ये नहीं बोलते हम कोच नहीं थे, कोच थे, और उसको हम बताते थे। मेरे साथ में कैप्टन सुभाष निर्मली हुआ करते थे, जिन्होंने एक विद्यालय अकेडमी खोली हुई है अकोला में, हम 2 आदमी थे, तो दोनों में मिलकर हम प्रोग्राम सेट करते थे पूरे कैंप का। जो भी कैंप लगता है वो कैंप का पूरा प्रोग्राम सेटअप करते थे, ट्रेनिंग सेटअप करते थे, और कोच हमको लिखा था कि हम ये ट्रेनिंग हमको कैसे करना है, कैसे नहीं करना है, इसमें क्या क्या दिक्कत आती है, हमारा पूरा डिस्कस होता था उसके ऊपर, तभी कोई ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम बनाते थे, और वही ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम रिलेटेड होता था। तो इसका कोच होना बहुत जरूरी है। कोच नहीं होगा, किसी दिन में हमारे दिल में आता है आज साइकिलिंग किया, साइकिलिंग इतना ज्यादा हो जाता है कि अगले दिन उठ ही नहीं पाते। लेकिन जब कोच है वो डायरेक्शन देता है और बताता है आज 30 किलोमीटर पर आवर से चलना है, 50 किलोमीटर करना तो 50 किलोमीटर ही करना है। रनिंग 5 किलोमीटर है, एट द रेट 4 किलोमीटर पर आवर तक 4 किलोमीटर के हिसाब से करना है, 4 मिनट पर किलोमीटर से रेस भागना है, वो 4 किलोमीटर से ही भागना है। स्टार्टिंग में हम भागते हैं 4 किलोमीटर से, जैसे बॉडी वार्म अप हो जाती है 345, 330 और कभी 315 का तक मार देती है, लेकिन उसका नतीजा नेगेटिव। उस दिन कहेंगे मैंने रेस अच्छी भागी, मैंने 3:15 का किलोमीटर मार दिया मैंने आज, लेकिन उसका नतीजा आप कुछ नहीं पाओगे, ट्रेनिंग नहीं पाओगे, वो आपका माइनस करेगा। तो इसलिए कोच का होना बहुत जरूरी है ताकि आपको सही गाइड कर सके, सही ट्रेनिंग कर सके। मैंने जब स्टार्ट किया मिस्टर राजेंद्र गाड़ेकर आर्मी पर्सन ही थे, स्टार्टिंग 1990 में जैसे शुरू हुआ वो फर्स्ट आए थे, कोई ट्रेनिंग का कुछ नहीं था, बॉम्बे में नेशनल चैंपियनशिप हुआ था इसका, अपने स्विमर अनिता सोचे इसको ले गई थी, फर्स्ट इवेंट उन्होंने करवाया था और उसमें फर्स्ट आए थे और फर्स्ट में वो चाइना जा गए और भी हमारे साथ ही रहते थे। तो मेरा ये खुद का ये था कि ये नेशनल चैंपियन हो सकता है तो मैं क्यों नहीं हो सकता। मेरे साथ में सोता है, मेरे साथ में खाता है, जबकि वो हाइट में मेरे से छोटे थे, मोटे भी थे। तो मैं अपने आप को वही सोच रहा था यार इतना हट्टा कट्टा आदमी है, इससे को मैं ज्यादा लंबा तगड़ा हूं, उससे मेरा स्विमिंग भी अच्छा है। जब ये बंदा जब इंडिया का टूर कर सकता है, नेशनल चैंपियन बन सकता है, मैं क्यों बन सकता? मेरे में क्या कमी है? मैं भी ट्राई कर सकता हूँ। 1991 में मैंने प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट किया। प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट में ही मुझे कुछ आदमी होते हैं साथ देने वाले, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा आदमी होते हैं नीचे खींचने वाले। यार की कंडीशन है अपना गीत। कई आदमी मतलब छोड़ो यार क्या करना है, ड्रेस बहुत टफ है, मैं तेरे बस की बात नहीं। लेकिन जब मैं पहले ही बताया, जिसके अंदर कोई गोल नहीं है, एक एम नहीं है, कुछ नहीं कर सकता। उसका भी बात सुना, लेकिन मैंने मन में रखा था मैं एक दिन नेशनल चैंपियन बनूंगा। हमारा प्रैक्टिस होता था, स्विमिंग का प्रैक्टिस होता था स्टार्टिंग से। स्विमिंग की प्रैक्टिस करना, अर्ली मॉर्निंग 4 o'clock उठ के रनिंग के लिए जाना चाहिए। 4 to 5 रनिंग, उसके बाद स्विमिंग की प्रैक्टिस, टीम के साथ जैसे स्विमिंग प्रैक्टिस। लेकिन स्टार्ट मैंने रनिंग से किया। साइकिल ना अमूल चलाने के लिए हम रखते ही हैं, जिधर भी जाना अपना साइकिल से जाना। इसी के सारे मेरा प्रैक्टिस भी हो जाना और मेरा काम भी हो जाना। किसी का भी काम होने का यार ये काम करना था, मैं जाता हूँ ऑल इंडिया, तो सभी मेरे को रोकते थे, किसी का भी काम होने तो तुम क्यों भागते हो? लेकिन मैंने किसी को नहीं बताया मैं प्रैक्टिस करना चाहता हूँ, मेरा साइकिल से प्रैक्टिस होता है इसलिए मैं भागता हूँ। क्योंकि मेरा एम था नेशनल चैंपियन बनना, और वही मेरे को काम आया। 92 नेशनल चैंपियनशिप के लिए हम चेन्नई में गए। वहां पे मेरे कोच ने बोला चलो कम से कम हेल्प तो करेगा वहां पे जाके। मैं गया था टीम का एक हेल्प करने के लिए, लेकिन जब बहुत सारे ट्रैफिक देखे वहां पे एंट्री करते हुए मेरे से नहीं रह गया। मैं अपने कोच को बोला सर मुझे भी पार्ट लेना है, लेकिन मेरा किस्मत समझो इस चीज के लिए, क्योंकि सभी ट्रैथलॉन की साइकिल को कोई भी अपने का हाथ नहीं लगाने देता। बाइक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। वो चेक करने के लिए भी लेता तभी कोई भी हाथ नहीं लगा देता है, ये भाई मेरी साइकिल से दूर रहो, कुछ भी कर देगा साल भर की मेहनत नहीं पानी। सो मैं अपना साइकिल साथ में लेकर गया, तो मेरे कोच ने इधर से जाते हुए पूछा था भाई कप्तान सिंह तुम साइकिल का क्या करोगे? तो मेरा कोच साहब ये सभी आप अपनी साइकिल के पास में बैठ जाएंगे, पता नहीं दूसरी सिटी है कहां से क्या सामान लाना पड़े, तो मैं पैदल काम ढूंढूंगा। तो इस करके मैं भी अपना साइकिल लेकर चलता हूँ। अरे बहुत सारे ऑटो होंगे, सर ऑटो रहने दे, मेरी साइकिल है तो नाइट को कोई जरूरत पड़ेगी क्या करेंगे? ठीक है, मैंने उनको कन्विंस किया, एग्री हो गए और मैं अपना साइकिल लेकर साथ में चला गया। वहां पर देखा तो बहुत सारे आदमी ऐसे ट्रेजर और टी शर्ट कैप सब मिल रहा था, सब पहन के घूम रहे थे, तो मेरे को बहुत बुरा लगा होता। मैंने कोच को पूछा सर मैं भी इसमें भाग ले सकता हूँ क्या? पूछा चुप है, प्रैक्टिस में एक दिन का भी क्या भागा बैठा? चलो कोई नहीं। जो फेडरेशन की जो आज प्रेसिडेंट है रेखा रामचंद्रन, एक्चुअली वो दिल्ली से है, और रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए मैं ही चला गया उधर। मेरा टीम का रजिस्ट्रेशन था, मेरे कोच ने बोला कप्तान बेटे जाके थोड़ा ये ड्रेस लेके आ जाओ, उसका टीम का रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर लेके आ जाओ। ठीक है, रजिस्टर करने के लिए गया तो सामने बैठी थी मैडम, मैं भी मैडम को जानता नहीं था। सर्विसेज टीम का ड्रेस दे दिया और मेरे को देखा थे, मेरा नाम नहीं था उसमें। उसने मेरा नाम नकली पेन नाम पूछा, क्या नाम है? कप्तान सिंह। तुम्हारा नाम तो है ही इसमें। मैं नहीं खेल रहा। क्या तुम स्विमिंग जानते हो? हाँ मैं जानता हूँ। तो तुम भाग लेना चाहोगे? बोलते यार देखिए और पूछ तो मैंने पूछा, सभी उसको एंटी एंटी बोल रहे थे, मैंने बोला हाँ एंटी मैं भी भाग लेना चाहूँगा। तो बोलती है ठीक है 500 रुपये निकालो, क्योंकि रजिस्ट्रेशन फी 500 रुपीज था उस समय। तो मेरा एंट्री इसमें सर्विस टीम से था नहीं, तो मेरे जेब में भी 1990 में 500 रुपये बहुत बड़ी चीज थी, मेरी जेब में भी नहीं था। सो मैं कोच के पास में गया, मैं बोला सर मुझे 500 रुपये दीजिए, क्या करोगे? सर मेरा भी नाम ऐड हो सकता है। तो कोच बोला नहीं, आपका नाम ऐड नहीं हो सकता है, क्योंकि आप सर्विसेज से नहीं हो। सर्विसेज से और ऐसे किसी भी स्टेट से आप सर्विस नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि सर्विसेज का रूल भी है। एक आर्मी में कोई भी डिफेंस सर्विस में होता तो हमारे बोर्ड के थ्रू ही आता है। उसी समय हमारे जो टीम मैनेजर साहब बच्चे गए थे, कर्नल जोशी साहब हमारे साथ में ही थे। हमारे कोच ने उनसे बात किया, वो तो कौन सी बड़ी चीज है। उसने हमारे बोर्ड से बात किया, तो ठीक है भागना चाहते तो भाग दो। तो इतना स्विमिंग का मेरा प्रैक्टिस था, साइकिलिंग का भी मेरा काफी प्रैक्टिस हो चुका था, और रनिंग का इतना फिजिकल फिट है तो रनिंग का कोई सवाल ही पैदा नहीं था। तो मेरा रनिंग का मेरा शौक भी था। सो हम इंद्रियों में रजिस्ट्रेशन कर लिया। जैसे गेम स्टार्ट हुआ सब साइकिल मेरा वही इंडियन साइकिल अपना लेके सुबह लाइनअप हो गई। मेरे को भी टी शर्ट मिला, कैप मिला, मैं बहुत खुश था। इसी विषय का बहुत खुश था, मेरे को टी शर्ट कैप मिला है नेशनल का। लाइनअप हो गया। स्विमिंग किया तो स्टार्टिंग में जैसे हमने स्विमिंग पूल में प्रैक्टिस किया तो ओपन वाटर स्विमिंग नहीं किया था। और चेन्नई का सी कितना रफ है आप लोग जानते होंगे, कोई गया होगा तो बहुत रफ सी है। स्टार्टिंग में ही 20 मिनट में गया तो मेरे को और कोई इतना लहर आती है, सांस आना बंद हो गया। तो मैंने सोचा ये इसलिए क्या तुम बोलते हैं इसको इतना टफ है स्विमिंग। तो बेसिकली मैं स्विमिंग सीखा था, मैंने बैक स्ट्रोक से सीखा था, फ्रीस्टाइल मेरे को आता ही नहीं था। तो मैंने तुरंत अपना बैक स्ट्रोक शुरू किया, इसलिए मेरे को सांस आ गया। जैसे सांस आया थोड़ा अभी स्टार्टिंग में तो सभी आगे भागे, मैं पीछे रहा फिर, क्योंकि मेरे को टाइम चाहिए था उसको। पानी काफी पी गया था, टाइम लिया मैंने, कम से कम 5 मिनट तक मैंने टाइम लिया वहां पे, जब तक पूरी जनता आ गई। मुंह उठा के देखा लहर में कौन कोई नजर आता है, कोई नजर नहीं आता। चलो कोई नहीं, मेरे को बॉय दिखाई दे रही, मैंने बॉय को चक्कर लगाना है। जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ता रहा, स्विमिंग अच्छा था, करीब में मिडल में आ गया। काफी आदमी को मैंने क्रॉस कर दिया, स्विमिंग कवर किया, ट्रांजिशन में आया। ट्रांजिशन में अपना सिंपल जूता बनियान उसके ऊपर लगाया हुआ नंबर सब पहन के निकल गया। साइकिल में जाते जाते ग्रुप बन जाते हैं साइकिल में। मैराथन में साइकिलिंग में जैसे भी अगर सेकंड मार्च जॉइन करोगे मालूम पड़ेगा आपको। तो ग्रुप में ग्रुप में घुस गए, ग्रुप में साइकिल फिनिश कर दिया। जब मैंने साइकिल फिनिश किया मैं 11वें स्थान पे था। वो भी जैसे साइकिल फिनिश किया उसी ट्रांजिशन जैसे एक आदमी निकला, मैं आदमी काम कर रहा था, मैं 11वें नंबर पे हूँ। तो तब देखा यार काफी जनता थी और मैं 11वें नंबर पे हूँ अभी तो मेरा चांस है। साइकिल फिनिश करने के बाद वहां से निकला, करते करते केक को कट करते हुए। तो 92 में एशियन चैंपियनशिप के लिए गए थे, वो भी मेरे से पीछे थे। तब मैंने सोचा यार वो नेशनल चैंपियन मेरे से पीछे तो अभी तो तेरी गलती करता है। लेकिन जो फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड पोजीशन वाले थे वो मेरे से बहुत आगे थे। ट्राई किया पकड़ने के लिए लेकिन नहीं पकड़ पाए। फिर जो मैंने छठे स्थान पे मैंने फिनिश किया, मेरा फर्स्ट 92 का, तो मैंने 6th प्लेस में मैंने फिनिश किया और बेस्ट ऑफ 6 को प्राइज दिया। इसने बेस्ट ऑफ 6 को नहीं प्राइज दिया।
Three announcements today, quick ones. The first one is that your voluntary contributions make all these events possible. So please contribute 100 rupees each. You can leave them with Samir today towards the organization of this event, expenses for shooting and all of that. And in a few days, the video will be available on the website www.athleticinsights.in. So watch out for that. The second one is that we have Bindu Chari among us today. He's one of our regular runners and he's going to attempt the Malaysia Ironman. So we wish him all the very best for it. And the third number, the least, I'd say the last one is that there is tea for everybody outside. So enjoy.